Hey everyone, look what hopped on the workbench today. Here we have Mini Belle and Tiana with Castle by Lego Disney Princess. This is set number 43291, contains 358 pieces, retails for $39.99, and the set was provided by the Lego Group for early review. Thank you, Lego. And yes, so I obviously know that this is Belle here. I've seen her in, I think, Beauty and the Beast. And that's Tiana, so... that's Tiana and Belle. At least I got these right, unlike the other ones. And just by first impressions, especially for $39.99, this one doesn't look like it has a whole lot of appeal to it. It looks like we're just building more of a brickhead stand than anything else. And that's the top right there. Yeah, this one, I don't know. I just think this one doesn't look too exciting. But here's the back. It's essentially the same thing, just a different angle. And yeah, I'm not a fan of where you have to buy two other sets in order to complete this. So this one's kind of more or less an incomplete model, but we shall see. Let's unbox this castle and see what we have inside here. Now I'm always curious to see what we get, and how everything's packaged and such. Unlike the big boys, I do formal unboxings. I don't just sit and talk about a complete build here. We're going to dive right on into this one. Okay, we got paper bags. Well, let's see here. Alright, well that's the most important one. So I have a feeling that these are probably Belle and Tiana. Alright, so it looks like we have 5 numbered bags. Wow, for a size of this set, this actually comes in its own envelope. That's unusual. I've never seen that before, Lego. We're stepping up on quality control. Let's hope the transparent parts are in better shape. I don't know if the set has any. Okay, let's see here. So obviously, that's building guide number 1. Okay. I have a feeling if these are just separate pieces, I'm going to say up to 5 people can assemble this set. What do you think? It looks like we could. Does it say it on the box? I don't remember it saying anything about it being collaborative. Let's see here. No. I wish Lego would mention it on here, because this set I have a feeling will be easily up to 5 builders can put this one together. And it looks pretty interesting for what it is, but I'm still not sure about the price of it. It just seems a bit much for just a very basic, like, brickhead stand thing. Well, yeah, we'll have to take a look at it. Okay, so what I'm thinking of doing here is, I think I'm going to attempt to do this all in one installment today. I have it planned for 2 installments. But I think 1 installment will suffice, and we'll just break in each section here. Now, we've done these before. This is a companion to the other 2 smaller ones that are like this. And I've already forgot their names. So this obviously is Belle, and this is Tiana. At least I can recognize these 2. But I think what we're going to do today is we're just going to do this all in one sitting. Some people prefer all big lump video, some prefer smaller videos, but I think we can manage this one today. I survived that big modular that I did, so I think I could manage to do this one. So there's 5 bags. I don't think there's going to be too many small parts. Probably this is going to be the worst of them all here. And I think that's where I'm going to head with this one today, is just focus on this and get the review done on this set here, and I may do another one, I don't know. Okay, let's begin. Let's build it. And let's see what we got in here. These are not to be construed as professional product reviews, how-tos, or tutorials. These are just merely my notes for the review. And anything we do here is just merely for fun. If anybody knows what that is anymore. That means I'm just building this stuff just what it is, for fun. You know, right now. It's a review offer, but I'm trying to have fun with it. Oh, so we got to do Tiara first. Cool. Well, let's do her. And we got some nice spring green in there. And yeah, that's printed. So this is a Disney Princess set, so we should be getting at least a decent build out of it. I'm hoping that this is going to be one of those sets that we can have some fun with today. And yes, that would be a nice color for a bedspread, maybe for a girl's room or a little boy's room. Oh yeah. I need to get some more spring green bricks. I'm thinking about doing that. And yeah, let's see how far we can get on this one today without me pulling out my hair. Yeah, I've been seeing what some people have been saying. My hands are covering the camera because a lot of you are watching people that are sitting on the other side of the table and they're looking at everything in reverse. That requires me to buy a lot of, not new camera gear, but I need to get a monitor so I can make sure that, you know, like this has a little viewfinder, but I need something bigger. And just to do a face cam like that and all that stuff, and some people say I need to add those wacky facial expressions to my video thumbs. Usually when I see those on YouTube, I skip over them, so I don't want to do that. I mean, yeah, I'm very immature for my age, but, you know, I'm not going to do that. And that right there is the skirt part. Okay, well, we survived that, huh? That's not too bad. All right, now it looks like we're doing the head. And we've already built several of these before. They're not too bad of a build. So if you manage to grab the other two sets, the other companions on this, let me keep the box here handy. See, these right here are separate builds. So this is already up to 5 people, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the Brady Bunch can put this one together with no problem. That's if you buy everything. Now, I'm not a fan of sets that you actually have to buy other parts in order to make a complete model out of it. Those tend to do very poorly, but we don't know how bad this one's going to look. I don't use the box as judgment. I just build and see how well it goes first, you know. This could be a very fun little build. We don't know yet. We haven't started anything. Well, I mean, we started, but haven't done the big build yet. First, we got to do the small stuff. And I'll try to go through this as speedy as I can, but I don't want to rush through it. Some have mentioned that they like this channel because the videos are long and I talk to you. You know, I don't talk at you. I don't just make this a complete promotional advertisement pitch. Yes, these are paid promotional videos. Lego did send these to me for just evaluation and see how well the build goes. But, I mean, the personality and the commentary or lack thereof is of my own work, you know. So far it's so good. It's going along pretty easily. The video is essentially a whole paid thing, but I don't want to sit there and butter these up. And, you know, if it's a very bad build, you're going to know about it. If it's a very good build, you're going to know about it. So far, you know, this is easy to put together. I'm not having any problems with it. So, and it's a collaborative build. Right now I would say it's at a 10. Nothing's falling apart. And I think I did 2 of these and they got 10s. All right. I think. I can't remember. I have to review my notes. That's why I do the notes. But so far I've been pretty pleased with the Lego Disney stuff. So far. The building guides, if you're building this as an adult, they're a bit slow. I've had some people say I'm a little blunt on the reviews. I sound angry, you know. Hey, you know, I mean, I'm being honest. If something is just right down boring to put together, yeah, I'm going to let you know it. Just like that big modular, the shopping street, yeah, that was a lot of smaller pieces. This set has more bigger pieces than that did. Of course, this is targeted for a younger audience, so maybe that's saying a lot. Maybe I just like the big parts, but I grew up building things with bigger pieces. You know, that kind of thing. I like the big stuff better. And she's got her ice cream scoop, but before we can get her some ice cream, we got to stick the head on the torso. And then just press right there and kind of clamp down on that a little bit. And then she's got her spoon. And if you got very big fingers and big hands, good luck trying to get that to turn. Okay, I need to pop her head. Sorry, I got to pop your head off real quick. I got to get the spoon in there. You get 2 ice cream spoons, which is cool. Some people like my videos as I actually have commentary. I don't just sit there and say, hello, today we're going to be building a Lego set and making it as dry and boring as we can. That wouldn't be fun for you. And that's what we have remaining there for Tiara in bag 1. Let me find a bag around here or something to toss those in. So we survived. Oh yeah, we got the stars there. Oh boy, now we got to do Belle. But that's what she looks like there. This is how I'm going to do the reviews eventually. Just kind of do them as we go. And yeah, she wasn't too bad so far, and we're still at a 10. Not too bad. Alright, now we're going to move on to bag 2, and we got Belle here. The only thing I've ever heard of Belle is from, oh, what was that movie? Beauty and the Beast? Where he kept her prisoner in the castle. How did the Beast turn into a monster? Right, because he denied a rose from an old lady that needed shelter for the night? That's all I can remember. So she turned him into a beast and made him ugly. That's why you never, 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 never judge people. It's never a good thing. Why am I putting the building out over there? That ain't going to do me good. Alright, I got to be careful because that lady will come up to my door and ask me for shelter for the night, and if I deny her, yeah, I'll turn into a beast and that would make me cry. Alright. But for the most part, though, these are not bad little sets to assemble. I'm going to try to get everything indexed accordingly. On the module, I went a little crazy on indexing, but that was more of a bit of an involved build, where this really is not so much. Now, usually these things have accessories that need to be held on to, so what I'm going to do is just pre-make the hands here. Let me look in the back of the book so I don't have to take apart anything. So she's got a book here. So this hand over here could just be left as is. I leave it alone like that. Okay, a flush tone, which is pretty cool, or pale tone. And that takes care of the torso and dress. Not too bad at all. Now we're going to move on to the head. Yeah, these simple builds, it's a break from, you know, I'm building right here. Let me do this here. This is a break from the traditional stuff that I've been working on, the hard stuff. As far as for tutorials go, I need to place a parts order. And in addition to a parts order, I need to I got a couple of tutorials I need to start editing, but right now I have 38 sets coming in the mail. They'll be here probably next week, or by the end of the week, or next week. And yeah, I'm not looking too forward to those, but one theme in particular is going to have some really good commentary. So if you want dry, boring, dull videos, those are probably not going to be the videos for you, but I got to have my, oh, we're going to have to count. I didn't even notice that. Ugh. Lego, you got to get rid of that stupid, goofy counting thing. I'm sure kids that are, what, 4 or 5 years old know how to count up to 10 at least. Alright. So sets like this are just meant to occupy the kids for a bit. You know, just little things. Oh, Belle, what happened to your face? It's missing, huh? Oh boy, what happened there? Hey, I gotta have fun with these folks. I can't just make these dry and boring. I watched a YouTuber that just does reviews like kind of the same stuff I do. He's an ambassador. And it's like it puts me to sleep sometimes. Like, dude, you don't have any commentary, but that's what the kids want. They want a professional. Well, I'm not. I'm very informal. And I want to make these where you could sit down and relax, not have to be like, okay, there's a guy wearing a suit and tie, and he's talking about the statistics of a set. You know. Oh, I thought this was the... That's the back. You tricked me, Lego. Yeah, these pieces are all printed, so you don't have to fuss with the stickers. Except I can't get that on my butterfingers today, I tell you. But I've been... I'm trying not to think of the overwhelmness of this. Now, by the time you're watching this, though, I have not even released the rest of that modular set yet. So right now, I just released the review, because LEGO gave me permission to release it, and I've released part 1 of the build. Oh, and today is the 4th of December, 2024. We got 20 days till Christmas, 21 days. So we're getting close to Christmas, everyone. Isn't that cool? But wait a minute, we're missing a bunch of stuff here. But we didn't do the back of this. Did I just miss it altogether? Or does that go on later? But there she is right there. Yeah, but her brains are spilling out all over the workbench. Looks like we're putting together the back portion of the head now. Okay. Yeah, so I have got a lot of stuff going on. I'm trying to get everything finished up, and right now family's not helping out any much either. I've been running ragged around here, and I haven't had a chance to cool off, and every time I start planning a trip or something like that, then something else changes it, and that means I'm kind of stuck here. So my days off will be just stuck at home. What a waste, huh? Alright, now we're putting the book in here. Oh, this is kind of cool. Get that up so you can see it there. Once upon a time, I'm only like 2 inches away from the lens. Isn't that cool? A lot of guys, they won't do this live stuff. So she's got her thing in her. She's ready to tell us a story. Put that in her hand like that. So she's got her book there. Ready to tell us the story how she got locked up in that castle with the beast because she was being too nice. Not too bad. And that's Belle right there. And this is what we have remaining for bag 2. Okay, now we're moving on to bag 3. It looks like we're building part of the stand. Looks like this is one side of it. Now, I'm gathering is, before we begin, I wonder if bags 3 and 5 are the same color. No, they're not. That would be a little too confusing even for me. So we're going to not do that in mirror form. If they were all the same color, I would go for it. Okay, look at all that. That's what I like to see, is this big, giant bulk parts here. We got a little bag here of small parts, but I can survive through that. If I could survive that modular, this should be a piece of cake. Okay, because now Belle and Tiana need to be put somewhere. They don't want to just sitting around on the white workbench on the scuffed up latex paint. Alright, so it looks like now we're just going to be building this here. So step 1 is this, and step 2 we got to get some gold flowers. I'm not a fan of these frames. I don't think I'd use these for anything. The only thing I could think these would be used for is maybe like... oh, that flew across the floor. These could be used for maybe like castles or stuff, but I don't really build a whole lot of castles, so I don't really experiment with those. Yeah, this is meant for small fingers, huh? Yeah. A lot of people just like me to do me. So that's why I try to keep my videos as authentic as I can. I don't want to act like somebody else or anything. Some have commented, why don't you be like this YouTuber and do this, this, and that? Well, I'm like, thanks for the suggestion, but I like to do myself. You know. Ooh, cool yellow tiles. And this one's got a lot of big pieces here. So basically what this is really intended to be for is so you and a friend can put this together and then display your figures together. So if you got a brother or sister who are interested in this and you all get that stuff and you all put the castle together, you could display your stuff easily. And well, we need a heart tile. And plus, these are good introductory Lego sets for smaller children too. So the heart goes like that. I've been pretty happy so far with the quality of the Disney sets. I'm not into Disney all that much, to be honest with you. I just always ask for the theme because it does have some interesting pieces that we can explore. But for something like this, it's pretty interesting. You know, I'm not bored of it or anything like that. Am I bored? Not really. But this is a good inspiration if you want to build some other stuff with it. That's our bright green. That's unusual to find. Kind of want to know how these snap together. I like these kitty sets. You get more big parts instead of the smaller stuff that we all used to getting. And these always have parts that I could use for other builds. Like, look at all my other stuff on my main channel. It's big stuff. I don't use little pieces all that often. Okay, and so far so good. We got that in there. We haven't really blew anything up yet, or things caving in, falling down. Yeah, somebody said, why don't I sit back behind it like I do my tutorials? I could. It requires me to get a smaller camera, and I don't want to spend... I looked at the price of cameras. Oh my goodness, the one I want is about $3 grand just for a small one. That has the same quality as this bad boy here. And yeah, if you're ever going to get into this, don't buy a professional grade, regular news, movie style camera. They're not... yes, you're going to get better quality. But, you know, for something like YouTube, and they compress it, it ain't worth it. So, lesson learned there. So the next camera I buy will be consumer grade. I got it right here. This thing is about falling apart. This camera here is the one I use. It's a Sony Handycam. 3.1 megapixels. That's kind of a joke now, but this is the tutorial camera there. That's what I use strictly for tutorials and close-ups. Someday I gotta buy a new one, but not today. It was either that or a new computer, and I needed a new computer because the old one I could not upgrade anymore, and I needed it for video editing and stuff, so the video editing comes before that. And plus I already had this camera here. I was scared of this camera at first until I had to learn how to use it. And yeah, that kind of thing. It looks like we're building ourselves some tree, or a tree that goes here. I mean, these are not bad little bush ideas right here. Just an inverted dome, and that would be perfect for some like older style homes, like in front of the windows. I'll have to think of that idea. Maybe put a nose cone on the top of it would look better. Let's see here. And I think we're done with that section right there. That's not too bad. It looks like it's just modular. Okay, now we're moving on to the second part here. So, like, originally I thought this would be up to 5 people? Maybe this one could be more. It depends on how this goes together here. If it goes together at the very end, yes, we could probably squeeze out more people here. I would recommend probably 5 with just this unit alone, and that would be it. So if you have the other brick figures, it should come in handy. Lego does send me this stuff in bulk, things that are related. So, not too bad. Yeah, I've been busy stringing up holiday lights on the house, which I don't really like doing. I've been trying to get done with a lot of the editing processing on this stuff. It takes a while for me to edit videos, and right now I'm finishing up editing part 8, and I'm proofing it now and putting it on YouTube for your viewing consumption. And then let's just say I have a lot of videos for next year, just not tutorial based. I know some of you have been commenting, I like your tutorials better, you know, they're because it's something different. These you can buy at the store and it's already a canned build, it's all ready to go. But one person did mention I should do tutorials out of some of these, like how to like an alternative model type build. I'll think about that, but I don't know. And I got over my cold finally. I'm just still coughing up everything, but it's not like it's bad. Boy, that does not want to go in. Boy, that was really wanting to fight me there. Yeah, I don't think my nephew's going to be home for Christmas this year, but he's kind of bummed out over it. He's working. He had to work Thanksgiving Day. Thinking, welcome to the bunch. Even I had to do that nonsense. And I'm thinking, well, I don't think your boss is going to have you work Christmas Day, but he was saying something about he might have to work that day. And I thought, oh, but it's like, dude, that's double time. I think he gets paid like 25 bucks an hour, so that's 50 bucks an hour. And when I was younger, I'd say I'd scarf that up in a heartbeat. Ooh, that's a bluish green 1x8 brick. That's something we very rarely see. This one had the 2 1x4s. Yeah. Yeah, these frames don't take a whole lot of time to build. I think we're going to do this all in one sitting, because everything here has just been big pieces and not too bad at all. And okay, now we got to join these two items together. The hearts obviously face outwards like that, so this is obviously going to join to something there. And like with Lego, everything's skyscrapered to make it look big. I mean, this is full of air, so you're not getting a solid build. Okay, now it looks like we're focusing on the very top piece with some landscaping, you know, like a little scene that you can play with or something. And so far so good. I mean, it's easy to follow, especially for an adult, so I'm sure a child this would be a breeze too. We got some castle parts. So, I mean, like that bush idea would be very handy. So here's another one we got to make right now. Just the instructions have been dumbed down for a younger audience. But I'm not a fan of the way the instructions are on this one here. I know there's some guys out there will frown upon these. Well, there's some good parts out of here that I could use, so you know what's going to happen to this one when I'm done. This one's going to get parted, but we're going to enjoy the build first before we could think about ripping it apart. We got some plant here, which goes right on that stud right there. Sorry if my hand's in the way, you know. No, I'm not using the tutorial camera for that, although I could, but and this one goes on the very top here. You know, I can just zoom out, huh? And this just sits right up here like that. And yeah, That's essentially what this is a stand. And you're supposed to put your figures in here. We'll do that later. And that right there, folks, concludes bag 3 with a ton of parts remaining, but these are usually common stuff that we usually see that's like really small. Hey, I can use those for other creations, so those will come in handy. Okay, now we're going to be exploring bag 4 here. So far, I'm going to say the set's at a 10, nothing's falling apart. Surprisingly, it's keeping my interest, and yeah. The only thing I'm kind of dissatisfied with is the building guide, but I have to remember, if this was an 18+ set and I saw the building guide written up with the hands or the, you have to count the parts, yeah, I would ding this one down really low too, but no. There's the right amount of pieces, I think. We're not messing with nothing but small stuff. No stickers to fuss with. This might be a perfect one. The other two I did were perfects. So maybe this one will be perfect too. That's unless at my building it just starts crumbling apart. And yeah, so it's pretty much the same thing we've been building here, just built differently. But yeah, let's get going here. Let's build this, you know, and it's not bad. This is a good introductory set here. So if you're looking for something to get for your son or daughter, yeah, that's, or even if you're an adult and you're just not sure if you want to get into this hobby, sets like this are usually a good one too. Or if you need the parts and you need to snag something out of this. A buddy of mine found some used Lego, or supposed Lego, at a thrift store, and it ends up being the fake stuff. He thought it was real, and he goes, I've never seen these type of parts before. What set are these from? I'm like, I don't know. I've never seen that part in that color. I don't think Lego's produced it. And we found out that the set he bought was like it was kind of like a botanical set, but not by Lego. That's the only bad thing about it is that with companies making their own stuff, they kind of clone what Lego does, and it kind of ruins the hobby for a few of us here, because I'm a Lego fanboy. I like the quality, I like the customer service, everything that goes with Lego, you know. Just like certain things that I'll buy or certain stores that I'll go to, they got great customer service. I want to go back to them. I don't want some imposter stuff. Oh, here's an example. My mom bought one of these things you hang on the garage door. You know, those, looks like it's like a piece of polyester you drape over it. It's got like a scene, like maybe for Halloween or Christmas or something like that. And she bought it, a knockoff version of one, and it didn't come with any accessories. And there's no videos on how to install it or anything like that. So I'm like, I have to find some special hooks. I read up online. I thought, well, okay, yeah, no, this is not good. No. So it's like, well, lesson learned there. And that's what we're doing right now. So I got to find some magnetic hooks or some small bungee cords. I got some bungee cords. I just got to dig for them in the shed. Well, right now I'm doing this Lego set today. Yeah, I think this one though is not going to get a good score, and it just dawned on me, this one's really not a complete set because you got to buy the other parts. We'll give it a whirl though. Oh, Lego, we don't have any 1x8. What is this? Medium Reserve bricks. We got a piece of these together. Oh, what a pity. I thought you would have came up with better stuff than that. Yeah, we're getting a lot of big stuff with this set here. So for $40, it's not bad. I mean, if you need these parts, this would make a good parts donor set. I think we're done with this one here. We're getting close to it. These don't feel all that sturdy, to be honest. I don't know how long this is going to last, but it's mostly just a big, giant, airy build. And that takes care of this little booth here. So, I don't know. I mean, how do you put these in here? You obviously can't fit that way. So you'd have to, let's say, I don't think she goes in here, but that's how they go in there. And then, yeah, it looks like they just kind of rest in there like that. So these are just meant to be stands. I mean, not too bad. I mean, they work. And that takes care of that one. Okay, now we're moving on to the next one, and these are going pretty easy. It takes about, maybe, for me, because I'm illustrating some parts of the build, probably about 4 to 5 minutes. So maybe for somebody who's in a hurry, maybe 3 minutes per stand would be fine. But it's Lego. You shouldn't rush to build these. Take your time. Don't rush. I have to rush because I have to review this, but you do not have to rush. You could take your merry time. Oh, Lego, we don't even have 2x4 tiles of this. We got to stick some 1x4s in there. What a pity. Yeah, I can see what you guys mean. I wish I could just take this lens and put it over here where I'm at. I think I need to focus on getting a hand cam, but like I said, I don't want to burn through all the funds just for equipment and no parts. I gotta find this and the heart piece. Alright. Had to clear my throat there for a second. At least with YouTube I can edit that out so you don't have to hear that. Okay, so these must join to that then. Of course, you could just leave these off and put them in a row if you want to. I would have put these other pieces in before those. Yeah, these sets are made for little hands, and I could use those fences. I've been wanting to buy a few of those for maybe like building mansions and stuff. You always hear me talking about building houses, but I have not even built a house yet. I have not done anything of that nature. I just been busy. You know, some people don't get that. There's another guy on the Ambassador Network. He quit the Ambassador Network. More like a pause, because he's doing a startup business and he's not going to have time to do the land. And yeah, this for me as a business owner myself, I feel this guy. That's just how it is. I mean, who would have figured? You know, this would, you know, it's the paperwork. Sitting here building stuff this is easy. This is the fun part. I like doing this. What makes it boring is that right now I'm focused on doing write-ups. I just got the write-up done for the modular building. That was like a novel there, but something like this, probably the write-up will be about the same type quality. And yeah, but some have asked me though, do I really enjoy, I forgot to put these in the back here, do I enjoy building sets? I'd rather build my own stuff, but sometimes I don't want to have to think on trying to find parts. All the parts are in each bag, you know. And yeah, I did get a request, why don't I sell parts to build my own creations? You know, for you guys to build them, you don't have to hunt for the parts. Something, let's say like a little, like that little upright piano that I built a long time ago, that could cost 20 bucks for me to prepare that. It would not even be worth it. Not that I'd be in it for the money, but it would just be the labor behind it to try to find all the parts for you. And me to package them up, print out have a printed building guide. I don't have the facilities for that, so it'd be more expensive for me to do that in the long run. It would not even be worth it in terms of cost. So that's why I don't do that. Okay, and these go here. Looks like we're getting ready to tower up here. And that takes care of this one right here. Okay. Now we got to put this one on top of here. Not too bad, huh? Not too bad at all. Okay, now it looks like we're putting the top portion of the castle on here. I got so much of this tan. When tan, or what is that called? Lego calls it brick yellow. But we call it tan. When that came out, I was in hog cabin. I thought, there's a lot of the houses out in my area are that color, like Adobe style. I was like, yes, I'm finally getting some normal colored parts. You know, not just building things out of white and stuff. And now it's kind of like, okay, I see tan. It's kind of like black, white, red, yellow, you know, white, you know, black, or blue. Blue's a rare color for me, so I don't get a whole lot of it. But, yeah. Okay. Got a little bit of a hole there. What goes in that area? Is that just something that... Is that the potty? I don't know. These are nice pieces to have. I need to get a couple of those in different colors. Yeah, I got to place an order for parts because during the holidays they shut it down for half a year. And I need to get parts just for my own builds. So I try to think of pieces that I need. Usually sets like this might have all the parts, and I don't have to worry about ordering. You know, that kind of thing. But there's always that chance that I'll need that. Alright, so it looks like we're putting accessories on now. I don't know. Let's put that on there. Ooh, that just fell apart, Lego. Now we're starting to crumble. I would have stuck that in the flag first and stuck this at the bottom. And then stick it on like that. That's just meant to keep it from breaking like it did there. And then now it looks like we're putting ourselves a turntable. And this is all pearl gold or warm gold now. It's not ink. It's just has that gold look to the bricks. A bit of a metallic sheen to it. Got a lot of round stuff here we haven't finished yet. And that snaps right in that hole. Just make sure it's centered. Push it down. So now it spins. So it looks like we're going to get the fencing put on. This bag here is a little longer. Don't worry, I haven't forgot about shout outs yet. I always say that for usually the last part of the build. So if you're waiting for one, you're going to have to wait a little longer. But we're getting this done today. I'm going to get this one reviewed, and I'm probably going to do one more Lego build. It depends on how much memory card I have left. And that takes care of this. And then this goes on the top of that. So get to see my bare feet at the bottom there. And this snaps right in place like that. And my apologies, but I'm right on the edge of the workbench at this point. Just pinch that together. Hey, you can turn your head sideways. That's what it looks like. At least I can see that normal since I'm sitting sideways. That's how the viewfinder looks. But yeah, that takes care of that. It goes on the top, and now we got to join these two pieces together. That's what we have remaining for bag 4. Now this goes here like that. The best way is just to line them up. Take your finger, it doesn't matter which side you go, and pinch it. You do it like this. But I would still feel better if I keep it right in here. I don't want to push like that. And there we go. Wish there was something down here to secure that. There might be something at the end. But so far I'm going to say up to 4 people can build this. And yeah, we've survived that. It looks just like this, except well, you can't see the top part. But we'll save that for later here of the build. Not too bad at all. Alright, slide this out of the way. Bale, you're becoming a problem. Now we're going to wrap this up with bag 5. And while I'm getting my stuff in order here, I want to thank everyone on my main channel and Patreon for being supporters. That's always a big help. As well as everyone who takes the time to check out my Rebrickable profile and purchase or even download some of my free building guides. It's always a big help too. And most importantly, for those who take the time to like, comment, subscribe, and all that goodies, that's always a big help. There's always ways to contribute. Okay? Always a way. At least I gave you that option. Okay. Always give you options. So now, looks like we're building this last section here. Okay. And just like the other ones, these can get a little repetitious, but I have a feeling this is meant to be built by up to 5 people. And yeah, we're going to talk about Patreon, because I've been reading some exit exams. Some people are expecting daily builds. If you're thinking about getting into my Patreon, that is just my archive. And that's basically what that is. Okay, you may find some builds on there, you may not. If people abuse it, I kind of remove something that's, like let's say somebody signs up, downloads something, and just leaves. I've had that happen. I just remove that build. That punishes for everybody. Some people are like that. I don't know why, but it's like, don't ruin it for everybody else, because you may find that same building guide on what is it? Was it Rebrickable, and it could be twice as much. You don't know. But I use that just for my archive, just in case my computer crashes or something like that. At least I have a backup to grab those files. That's why I use that. I've been selling a lot of building guides too. A lot of people have been asking and making requests for things, and I'm slowly getting to it right now. I need to push that also to the front burner, because set reviews, they don't make a whole lot of views. Matter of fact, I have a set that modular, nobody's really watching it, but when I post a trailer build, man, I get a lot of people wanting to watch that. Yeah, that work trailer got a lot of views. I know a lot of people go to my YouTube channel just for the tutorials. Well, pretty soon I'm going to have that all separate. Like this channel here will be reviews and builds. The other channel will just be for customs. And that's pretty much how I'm doing it. Just got to get some time to prepare that. Waiting for this channel to get 10,000 subs before I have Lego recognize this one. And then as far as for the main channel, kind of just use that one just strictly for the custom stuff, so you won't see any more of these on there. So it looks like I'm getting ready to put the flower bed on the other side here, just like this one. It's a mirror. I mean, I could have mirrored these, but there's just no point. Take my time. Yeah, each one of these little things takes about 5 minutes to put together. It's not too bad. If you're looking for speed builds, folks, on the wrong channel. I had another comment the other day. Can you speed these up a bit? And now I'm kind of getting a little rude. Like, dude, if you want to watch a speed build, go somewhere else. Like, I don't do those here. Yeah, but you'll get more views. Yeah, I'll get more views, but it doesn't do any good because everybody and their grandmother does a speed build. And if I'm going to do those, I'll just dump the building guide inside of an AI program and say, here, generate this in a speed build, and I walk away from it. I mean, that wouldn't be fun. Plus, you don't get the commentary with those. Yeah, I am slowly buying spring green bricks. So that right there, including these, I think Lego now's got 1x1 variants. I'm slowly piecing up a spring green brick collection. I'd like to build a house in that color. It would be awesome. It may take me 100 years, but I'll get there. Well, right now, we hadn't even spent an hour on this yet, so we're getting close to that, though. Okay, we got another one of those bushes. It's looking like we're making 4 of these in total. That'd be good just for a house. Just imagine getting these here for your house builds. I mean, and that's it for this one. Not too bad. Yeah, each one of these takes about 5 minutes to build. Okay, now we're moving on to the last one. Yeah, this is more my speed though, these big pieces. That's why I kind of, when Lego sometimes will send an offer for a micro build, I'm like, ugh, I try to avoid those. If I don't know what they are, and then I find out after they sent it, I'm like, oh, well, I got to deal with it. Lego needs to tell us more about sets, so I can just be like, that's a big set. I don't think I can build that right now. I just don't have the time to put in a good quality review. If all my reviews are about this size, no more than 500 pieces, I could easily get 1 to 2 reviews done a day. I'm only going to release 1 a day though. But why do I only release 1 video a day? Just so I'm not flooding out your inbox. Some YouTubers, that's how they get the millions of subs and views. They just constantly pound out videos. They just, one after the one, pound, 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 pound. And that just, I've had some that I had to unsub. I'm like, dude, you're spamming me with a bunch of nonsense I don't want to see, and I have to just unfollow you. It really kind of grinds my gears when some people do that. But yeah, let's see here. Doing the review on this one though, I think I'm going to put it on a turntable. This one we don't need to do a close-up shot on. I'll just bring these up to the camera because I always have it set on auto. I think that would be fine, and then I think we'll just do it that way. You know? Alright, we got these in the front. Yeah, the building guide, I feel like I'm turning more pages than building. So, this building guide here obviously is a little slow, and you can see here, we're almost done, but we haven't even got to the end yet. We're about, what, about 60%, but we're almost done building the set. Now, there could be an alternative model. It might talk about other sets. I don't know, I haven't even looked that far yet. Maybe it's just dragged out. Yeah, we don't know. But I'd like to get more of this color. It'd be nice to build a house in that color with some white window frames. And there's a piece that goes in there. Oh, Lego. We should have a 1x4 that color, but I think they were just trying to save part lots on this. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I like the sets with the little progress bar. Just so you know how far the build is. You don't have to count pages. If you want to know the progress bar too, just do this. You'll see how far you got left, which kind of corresponds with this. Depends on how much advertising and stuff they have in the back. And then now we got to put these 2 pieces together, just make sure the hearts are in the same place. Got to give it a lot of love, right? Seam that together, and that's not too bad at all. Okay, now we're going to be turning our attention to the top portion here, which has got the landscape. And so this is an all-green castle, pretty much. Oh yeah, I was reading about the ozone hole. You remember that ozone layer that's got a big old hole in it? They say it's shrinking. Isn't that cool? And it's all that effort and using, you know, non-polluting stuff is helping. Of course, things have improved since then. Especially using that nasty spray paint. Stuff gives me a runny nose, so I try to avoid using that stuff when painting things. You know what? These wouldn't be bad trees if they made these domes on the bottom a bit bigger, or just flip them and do some snot method with them. Alrighty. Don't you dare. There we go. A couple of flowers on there. These things are kind of a risk, because sometimes I always feel like I'm going to break the stem. So what I usually do is I just kind of rotate them on. I don't push, I mean I push them down, but I just kind of rotate them back and forth a little bit until I know they're on there securely. Okay, like that. And this one here goes right by that stud, right by my finger. And that doesn't matter. It's your set. You can do it any way you want. And then now we can readjust the camera because we have no parts remaining. We got to put that on there now, like that. Okay. Oh, I first thought the page was curled. What does it do? It gives us a sneak peek. Wow, we got more stuff to put on. Isn't that cool? So it tells us to hinge this in place. So just kind of rest in there like that. Now I'm just going to grab in here and just kind of, well, that's coming apart. That's not a good place to hold. Sorry, I got to get my hands in the way. I can't avoid it. But those do go in there. You just have to make sure you're not pressing on too many things there. And then now we need to change the angle again, because do I need a turntable for this? Probably not. And then they show these going there. So she goes in the sand green or the spring green. Okay, that was easy to put in there. Not too bad. Where's Belle? So we got Tiara. We'll put Belle in there. Not too bad at all. Now this is where I'm going to have to probably ding points. It's not too bad. I'd say right now it's at a very loose 10. But you notice that it looks like it's missing something. And you'd actually have to have the other ones. Can I talk about these? Let me make sure here. I think everyone but this one here. Yeah. Let me just do it like that because this is the page we're looking at right here. So in order to do this, you got to have all these here. So this is actually setting up right now to put all this stuff in here. Just so happens that I have saved these. So we're going to take a look at what it looks like. When I do the review, though, I'm going to pop them out. But let me reposition the camera for you. Yeah, let me drop this down a bit further. So if you're, for those who got motion sickness, you've been warned. I gotta twerculate the camera a bit here without bashing my lens into stuff. Isn't that much better now? That's a lot better, huh? And then I can raise this up here. That's much better. Let's see here. I may not even need the turntable for this one, to be honest, but it's Lego's famous skyscraper builds. They're tall and airy, and see if I can get this in here for you. Well, now I'm too far away. Why didn't even you tell me I'm far away from it? So I would say that it's a nice build, but it's incomplete. So I got to give this one here an 8. Not due to build quality, not scratch parts, but it's an incomplete set. Because in order to complete this model, and let me make sure my horizon is right here, you're actually going to have to buy the other two sets. So these I found out are $9.99. That's not bad. $9.99 for this. Let me jack this up a bit more here. I'm just trying to get it right in frame here. Everything's color coded except for Butterfingers. So it's meant to put all these in here like this. And I think she goes in this one here. I'll look at the book here and see. Yeah, she goes in there right where she needs to be. And I mean, they're easy to put in. I'm not fighting with them. So you got to match the hair color and stuff. I think she goes in there. They fit in pretty easily. You just got to... Could I do it with one hand? Yeah, they just kind of flop in there. It looks good like that. Now, if this set came like this would have been an easy 10. Easy. But unfortunately, though, you have to buy these separate right here. Those were 10s. That's a 10, that's a 10. This would have been a 10. Unfortunately, it's an 8 because I'm going to ding off 2 points strictly because it's incomplete. I'm going to pop those out and keep them off to the side here. So the reason why I'm doing that is this is not for the review. When I do the thumbnail, that's what I'm going to do the thumbnail on, just that piece alone there. These will sit over here. And yeah, I would say it looks good. I'd say this is a good collaborative build. If you add this set with the other one, you can easily get a bunch of people building this. So I'd say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, 6, 7, 8, 9. So up to 9 people can build this if you have the other sets. But I can understand why Lego included these two, because who is going to buy just the frame? I would. I could just make one out of my own parts. But I mean, it was a nice build. It kept my interest, but it's missing a lot of stuff. It just doesn't look... If you're getting just this as a gift, I mean, at least it's something, but you could put something up here. You think they'd have another one of these dolls that go with it, but it doesn't show anything. So I think this is like a little place you can set one of these up here and just have her like, Romeo, oh Romeo, therefore thou Romeo, where are you at? I can't find you, but I see Jastifer there. Oh no, who wants to see him? I want to see Romeo. Well, I'm better looking than Romeo any day of the week. Yeah, I mean, not too bad at all, but I mean, there you go. I mean, I think now we're ready for the formal tour because we're going to have a lot of fun with this. Here is the castle with Mini Belle and Tiana. So let's take a quick look at Tiana first. And this is what she is right here. Face is printed, which is really cool, and she is easy to construct too, which I'm pretty pleased with. I mean, who likes the hard builds? And she just rests inside of here. And we have Belle with her storybook. That tile there is printed, along with her face. And not too bad at all here. Not too bad at all. And as you can tell, these easily just rest inside. And that's essentially what this is. You don't have to stick them in. They're easy to get out too, but you got to put your hand in here and pop them out like that. So that's a really nice design. It's very simple for what it is. It depends on the accessories. This one I had to move the book a little bit for her to fit. Now these can go anywhere you want them to be, but they are color coded for different mini dolls. So we'll take a look at that here in a second. And on the top here we got ourselves a little turntable area here with a little balcony or terrace. We got a little opening here. So you could take like Belle and have her read the story here. Like you put her up here. She snaps right on top of the modified plate. She rotates and she could go, once upon a time in a faraway land, here we have this little castle that's missing something. What is it missing? What are my viewers going to think? What do I think? Well, we are missing some stuff because you actually have to buy the other little mini heads to put in there, or mini dolls, whatever you want to call them, or brick dolls. And it just looks kind of incomplete without them. But let's take a look at the back here. Now, as you could tell on the top, though, we do have, well, okay, let's take a nap then. So on the top, you got some landscape, and there's that little turntable there, and a little fence and stuff like that. But this is what the back looks like. So there's always one side that's got to face the wall, but it looks very colorful in the back. This looks interesting more than the front here. I mean, we got a lot of color there compared to here. This should have been in the front. I'm sure you can modify it for that, but no. Today I was lazy. I didn't get the turntable. And yeah, so I'm just going to say that looks incomplete, but with those it's not too bad. Now fortunately Lego did send me the other parts that go with this, and I forgot their names. I just know that's Belle and that's Tiana, and then we have her. I can't remember her, but you can match the colors, or you can put them anywhere you want it. It's not like it's going to matter. Put her there. Let's put her up here. Now this one's got a jumper plate, so she actually has to anchor down to something. And she goes here. What is that? Snow White? No, it's not Snow White. I don't think it's even Cinderella. I don't know my Disney characters. And there we go. If Lego sold that as a set, this would have been awesome. But you have to buy the separate pieces. That looks complete. So now it looks a lot better. And yeah, so that was probably the only downside of the set. It does come incomplete. And well, let's dive in the review with build quality. And it's like average construction. I didn't have anything fall off. Maybe these 1x1s, and had a piece here come off when I was trying to put these together. But it's mostly just a build full of air. It's got a lot of air into it. And for me personally, it's not too bad at all. It seems pretty sturdy, and I can pick this up and move it, but I got to be careful. I don't want this to separate. And all these brick heads, except for her, are floating in here. They're not anchored down. So I wish those were fixed in a bit. Other than that, though, it's a nice little display rack. Now, my build experience was pretty good with the set. It kept my interest throughout the build, which is good, especially for an adult. Especially for a guy, for that matter. It wasn't boring. I had fun putting this one together. It's big pieces. The instructions were a bit on the slow side, but it's perfect for a child. This is really meant for a child anyways. It's for 5+, but for an adult, it kept my interest, which is really good. So I was pretty pleased with my build experience on this. Play value, even if you did not have the other brick dolls, it's still fine. But for me personally, it is a playable model, but play on this could be short-lived. Even if you didn't have these in here, it's still short-lived. But you could just pretend that this is a dollhouse and make these different rooms if you want. So you don't even have to have the other 4 brick heads with it. But it still looks kind of incomplete. It just looks kind of barren on that. But play value there is some play value here with it. It's not a whole lot, but you could still play with it. And for the final outcome of this set, it's okay for what it is. And like I said, it still kept my interest throughout the build. It's a decent build, nothing really fell off, and it just looks incomplete. So my score on this set is going to be an 8 out of 10, just because of the wasted space in here. And I understand what Lego was doing, so you can buy the figures that interest you. But it is still doable for what it is. So you have to have these here. These come separate with the build. These come in 2 different sets. So you'd actually have to, she's hard to stand up there. You'd have to buy these separate. That's probably the only downside to this set here, is the extra stuff. I think Lego was trying to separate this one out a bit more, so you maybe be able to put your own brick built figures in here too. And it's a nice start for any project. And then the set does come with a lot of nice pieces and stuff. If you're buying this just for parts, you can use the pieces for other creations, even castle builds. A lot of these parts you could use for castles. I mean, you get 6 of these 1x2 brick with arch, and these pieces in the back. You just got to buy some glass. You got yourself some parts just to make a very basic castle. But I'm satisfied with the set. It just looks kind of bare without these other 4 gals with it. I mean, that just doesn't look too appealing. I just kind of find it just looks incomplete. Even on the box, it just looks kind of like there's something missing here. So you have to buy the other 2 sets in order to fill this whole thing up. But I want to know what you guys and gals think. To me, it was a fun build, but, well, We're missing some stuff, but tell me what you think.